Everybody. I am with Joseph Hayes, and so listen. First of all, what's coming out of your garden right now? There's got to be things like
Well,
growing.
we have a full tree of avocados, which you will benefit from, my friend. Um, we just had flowers on the peach tree, and we're about to plant, vegetables and herbs and things like that because the season is just starting,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's great.
you'll be happy to know that our like semi-defective avocado tree.
Yeah,
The one that
killer.
let's say got violenced a while back. Well, I have our friend Elizabeth has was out of state and had a tree full of avocados. So I went to pick up some avocados, but I also took some little bits of
Right.
branches so I could graft my tree and
Yeah.
scions, right? And so
Hmm.
I did 10 grafts on my tree. So I'm hoping I wrap them up like in the, like saran wrap type stuff. So I'm
Right.
hoping that they're going to take and that we're going to have our own avocados at some point because we
Have a
cannot
full
have enough
orchard.
avocados.
That's
We
right.
eat a lot of avocados. So it's very good.
Well,
So
good. It's good to
listen,
hear.
we are here to talk about your play that we're going to broadcast on Sunday.
Excellent.
Uh, uh, I think my personal favorite, Destination Moon,
Oh, very
was.
nice.
But I would like to learn about the origin of the story and the origin of the play and the process, and just like tell me all about it.
Destination Moon started as a project between a friend of mine in New York and myself. She was a poet, and her husband and I, he's a lyricist for musical theater. We'd always been telling her that as a poet, she should be writing plays because that's how theater started, was as poetry, and it doesn't happen anymore. So we said, you are the perfect person. She said, I don't know anything about writing plays. So I just said, listen to your surroundings. What do you do every day? She says, I get on the bus and I go down to my job. So I transverse Manhattan. I said, there's your play. Find people and listen to them. So I said, tell you what, I'll write a bus play, you write a bus play, and we'll put them on. So this was my bus play. And it's just, this is the culmination of that. That play became a different play that we also did on the show at the White House. But the characters from that play turned into the characters in this play. So Destination Moon is about a teenage girl who is in the hospital. She spent most of her life in a hospital with an undecipherable illness. They're never really sure what was going on or how much time she had. She was just basically told, you're ill, you'll die. That's it. And what happens at the beginning of this play is she's told that she will live, that there's a recovery, and she doesn't know what to do with that information. If you've been told all your life that your life is going to end and then it's not, what do you do? So the characters in this play are a young woman who spent her life in a room by herself, and a man who has spent his entire career as a radio DJ in a room by himself. And they connect on the air and on phones, little knowing when I wrote this play that that was going to be our lives right now,
Yes.
in rooms on our own,
Yeah.
connecting over airwaves. So in a way, it's a little prescient. And I love the play. There's a little bit of fantasy in it. There's a lot of literary and musical references that people will get or they won't get. If you know what's the threads behind what's happening, you'll get that level. If you don't, it's theater and just go along for the ride.
Yeah, it's a cool vibe, I always like your language, and your let's just say like organized spontaneity, you know, like I don't know how else to describe it exactly, because I'm not a literary expert, you know, I'm not a
Huh?
language expert, and in that sense I deal with a different language,
Mm.
but I always like the flavor of your language, you know.
My entire goal with all of my writing is to have you believe that you are overhearing a conversation, that this is real life, real people will say these words. So when I get to those points where I move into what one critic called lyrical, it becomes a special thing. And you're watching that, you're involved in that. So thank you for saying that, because that's my goal,
Yeah, no,
is
I mean,
structured spontaneity.
yes, exactly, like organized spontaneity. It's kind of like
Like
jazz, you know.
jazz.
Exactly, and at the same time, you know, the first things I heard from you were, you know, things that you say while jazz is being played, like, you know,
Right, right.
while I was on stage in some cases, and so
Hmm.
like I always liked that whole movement, and you know, in the '50s, and you know,
Right.
with David Amram and all of these
Yes.
you know, musicians, and that connected with, which is kind of our whole thing, right? Like especially right now, but even for,
Hmm.
like, we're celebrating 20 years, our 20th anniversary in next week,
Yes.
and this is basically what we've done since the beginning, is kind of mix
Uh-huh.
you know, other art forms and
Hmm.
music, and this has always been a part of it, so it's a very natural thing for me to like, you know, because, and you know, strangely enough, like growing up, I wasn't necessarily attracted to opera, because
Right.
what the, because what we are most exposed to as opera is the romantic, you know, like
Bombastic.
loud, bombastic, like this
Mhm.
kind of sound, you know, and that's not what I enjoy. Like that's not the type of opera. Like later on, when I heard like modern operas,
Hmm.
different kind, even rock operas, like other
Hmm.
kinds of operas, I said, "Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
like that. I've always liked that. I just didn't necessarily love that flavor,
Right.
because it, like, it seems to me we're overexposed to that in that medium. Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's something that I wish people not would get away with. We need to play the classics. I understand that. It's like
Hmm.
symphonic music, but I need new symphonic music also. Like I
Right.
need new opera. And so this is what you provide, you know, like in your plays, in a way, like even when there's no music involved, but especially when there's music involved, is like
Oh.
that operatic, uh, you know, type of, you know, the modus operandi, like
Hmm.
the fact that you're combining art forms to create something more, to create something
Well,
that's more real, more close, like more close to us,
intimate. Yes.
intimate in a way, you
Yes.
know? And to
Well,
me
it's
that,
I like that you recognize that, because that's how I write. I write to rhythm. I always hear the music of the words. And whenever possible, as in this play with the great music written and performed by John O'Leary, I like to involve musicians, um, as a live band, as a character. The music is a character in these plays. As you said, even when there's no music playing, there's music,
yeah,
there's rhythms, there's things that hit the beats. And
yes,
that's I
absolutely,
really appreciate that you recognize that. And I have to tell you that I miss, perhaps more than anything else that's going on in our isolation, I miss seeing the people at Timucua. I miss hearing the live music and seeing the live music at Timucua. And I really miss presenting my work on that stage.
yeah,
So
well,
this is a
all of it
great
is coming back.
opportunity.
It's all coming back. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it
Yeah.
is, but you know, like we're working hard to keep content coming,
Hmm.
hence the rebroadcast of that show.
Yeah.
And then I know that, like, you know, theater, like we had a few theater shows that were planned, you know, and some of them said,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna wait until there can be a live audience, because really
Hmm.
performing theater is so hard without an audience, and I
Yeah.
understand that music is the same.
Hmm.
But and a couple of people said, "Oh, I'm gonna adapt and make it like a basically a film festival, in the sense that I'm gonna ask these people from all over the world to make
Hmm.
short plays, and we're gonna film them. So that's a
Hmm.
different kind of mixing
Right.
of the of disciplines."
Right.
And other people said, "Well, the hell with it. I'm gonna try and do it anyways." And
Hmm.
the combination of it is what we have to do right now. But
Yes.
it's allowing, I think, hopefully our audience to keep connected with us, and the creators to keep connected to what they're supposed to be creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Well, we don't have a choice.
yeah,
So we're going to do it anyway. And
exactly.
I will say this publicly for the first time, and I haven't even talked to you about this yet, but I'm doing one of those distanced plays that is about the whole phenomena of food delivery and how people react to that, to this pseudo personal contact that they have with the deliverer and with each other and what they miss. And I'm doing a piece about that right now. And as soon as it's done filming, I would like Timucua to be the first place for it to be seen.
Oh, that's lovely. That's perfect.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Thank you.
That's my gift to you.
Oh,
20
thank you, thank
years,
you. You've done
Benoit.
enough. But I am happy that you keep doing it, because the gift is to me, but the gift is to the whole community. And that's what's important, because of
Oh,
course.
I'm really selfish. The gift is to me.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
all for my entertainment.
that's all good. That's
Yeah,
I'm happy about that, because that's if everybody thinks like that, then everybody's gonna come back when as soon as we can have people
yeah,
back. But
yeah, you're right.
I'm happy, always happy to talk to you. And in fact, like maybe next time we should talk without a particular precise reason. Why not?
I'm always here.
Yeah. And and I'm curious to see where, like we've been talking about doing an opera together, uh,
Yes,
and the stage that we're at, there's or that we are, where we are is
where we are.
I hate to put a preposition at the end of a phrase, but
Yes.
that's a different story. It involves some very, very, very specific casting, and I'm starting to wonder if our technological prowess will improve enough
Allow us to
that
do
we
that. Yeah.
may be able to
Hmm.
do like a live opera with maybe one of the cast members doing it remotely, for example, or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it might be, some things might become possible that we didn't think were possible before. And so,
Absolutely.
we'll see what happens, but I look forward to
Always.
seeing that as well.
Yes.
So,
Yes. And
yeah,
we'll talk about that too.
yeah.
Good.
Thank you so much for talking to me. It's always
Thank you,
nice.
Benoit.
Keep gardening, keep cooking, and I definitely hope I can see you soon.
And thank you for putting Destination Moon back on.
Ciao.
Bye.